Hello, my lovelies. We're going to do some shadow work today. So we're going to do a pick a pile. So I have two piles. I have not looked at any of these cards. They have the same number of cards in both decks. So pile one's going to be the first part of the reading. Pile two will also be in this reading. So sit with the energy for a second and pick which pile you want. Pile one or pile two. All right, pile one, this is your part of the reading. So we're going to start with conversations with our inner self. We have professional life. How does your shadow self affect your professional life? How does it affect it? Defensiveness. What do you feel most defensive about when it's brought up? And vulnerability. What makes you feel unsafe and vulnerable? Some food for thought there today. How do you integrate? Part two, reflection. How can you use your perception of others to understand yourself better? Decision making. How can you understand your shadow self improve? How can you understand your shadow self improve your decision making? Authenticity. How can you use your shadow self to become more authentic? An inner critic. What does your inner critic most often say to you, and what evidence can you find to combat your inner critic? All right, so I have 6 cards total for your shadow work, so it's going to be quick, short, and to the point. We are overcoming survival mode in pile one, okay? We have lived there long enough. Now it's time to transform and reclaim our energy, our power, and to get back out there into the world. You have waited long enough, and now your ships are coming in. All the delays are going to be removed. I do feel like we're going to have a couple of glitches and hiccups there because of all the retrogrades. There's 4 planets that are currently in retrograde, one of them being Mercury. So I do feel like we have a little bit of hesitation before it gets going, but we're saying no to the confusion. We're getting some sort of clarity. Tonight is a new moon. It's in the sign of Leo. So if you look at your birth chart and see where Leo is, that's the house that's most being impacted. Funny how you have the moon. I do feel like there's some sort of illusions that are coming to the surface. Maybe it was a situation that kept you stuck. Maybe it was a person that kept you stuck. But I feel like enough is enough. It's time to go forward, right? We have the justice. Maybe you're doing something through the justice system. Maybe you're dealing with restraining orders, divorces, things like that. Something pending a decision. I do feel like it goes in your favor, and you get your fresh start and your new beginning. So be willing to face the fears in the mirror. Be willing to work through the obstacles because you do have some clarity coming and a fresh start and new beginning. Love that under a new moon. Pile 2, you're up next. All right, pile 2, inner child. In your childhood, what did you not receive, and how has this impacted you? Could be a lot of things that you didn't receive in childhood. Give those things to your inner child now as an adult. No fears. If you had no doubts, no worries, and no fears of the unknown, what would you do? And what would you do if you weren't afraid? There's an old saying, something about what would you do today if you knew you could not fail? So you need to look at it like that. If failure is not an option and you're going to be successful, what would you set out to do? Inner child. What is the relationship between your shadow self and your inner child? Hopefully it's a good one. The color of. What color is your anxiety and why? All right, how do you integrate? Forgiveness. How does your shadow self affect your ability to forgive others? Ancestors. Think about your ancestors. What questions do you have for them? Creativity. How can you channel your shadow self in creative activities? And one more. On your deathbed. Imagine that you are on your deathbed. While laying in bed, your parents walk in. What are the last things that you say to them? All right, let's get into your shadow work. So we start with the 9 of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Page of Cups. All right. So we're saying no to the anxiety, right? I keep hearing that it's like a really popular song on TikTok. It's like a remake of something, but the main part is anxiety. So I feel like someone could have dealt with a lot of worry somewhere. Maybe you have panic attacks, things like that. I used to really bad as well. So I feel like we're working through those obstacles that are creating that panic, right? That all the time. So we want to release that because a lot of times it really creates other problems under the surface. The Wheel of Fortune in the shadow is a card that tells us that maybe we've had some faux pas. Maybe we've made some financial mistakes. Maybe good luck has not been on our side, but I do feel like things are going to turn around. Remember, it's a wheel, right? So like things can come full circle and things can change. Sometimes the Wheel of Fortune's in your favor and sometimes it's not. And at the moment, it feels like it's working against you. I also feel like you've rejected love somewhere recently. This person has genuine feelings for you, but I feel like they're a little bit immature, and so maybe that's a turn off to you. I feel like this person needs to also work on themselves. Maybe they're also dealing with some fear. I feel like somebody could be feeling some fear to come forward and express how they feel because of fear of rejection as well. All right, so we've got to stop overthinking, anxiety, worry, and contemplating things to the nth degree. So we need to make a decision. We're not actually trapped. It's a pattern of thinking that can be changed, but it takes some work. You are about to make some forward progress, movement, travel, relocation, purchasing a vehicle, and finding the balance. That's really important. Could be balance in your finances as well. Remember that you are the creator of your destiny. Manifest what you want. It comes through positive thinking and action. Action's the important part. Tonight, under the new moon, most people are saying don't manifest. Some people are saying do manifest. I'm a firm believer, do what the fuck you want. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, wait until you're ready to do it. But remember that your thoughts become things. What is meant for you will simply find you, and you don't have to break your back for work anymore. You just have to do your part. Have a great week.